Hello again. As I am sure viewers will be aware, I'm not in general one for conspiracy theories, and yet sometimes apparently unconnected events do seem to point in certain directions. I was prompted to think along these lines when somebody emailed me this morning and drew my attention to the fact that the taxi company Uber is largely owned by the American asset company BlackRock. Uber is interesting, of course, because I'm sure that we've all noticed they seem to have a policy of only employing immigrants to work for them. Have any readers ever come across a white British driver for this company? International financiers like Larry Fink, the head of BlackRock, are of course fantastically keen on immigration. They say that it makes the country more attractive for investors. During the 2015 immigration crisis, when a million illegal immigrants were marching through the Balkans towards Western Europe, many ordinary people were a little alarmed. Not BlackRock, though, who issued a statement saying that this was actually a good thing and that the more immigrants a European country had, the better its economy would perform. Labour have apparently taken this perspective as being a good and correct one, which is why in November the head of BlackRock, Larry Fink, was invited to 10 Downing Street to meet with the Prime Minister, the Chancellor, and Business Secretary Jonathan Reynolds. Jonathan Reynolds was very keen on meeting up with Larry Fink, saying that between them they would change the face of the United Kingdom. Whether this was meant literally and an explicit reference to the skin colour of many of those faces which we are now seeing in this country was not clear. What was clear was that the present government is very keen to work with BlackRock on a number of exciting fronts. I give links to a couple of news items about this in the description to this video, just in case viewers have missed what is happening. What is happening is that one of the most powerful and influential businessmen in America was invited quite literally to get his feet under the table at the heart of our government and help them to change the face of the United Kingdom. That this businessman happens to be a fanatical supporter of mass immigration to Europe from Africa and Asia may have nothing to do with the case. But then again, it may. International financiers like Larry Fink do seem awfully keen on flooding the continent with cheap labour, on the grounds that it makes sound economic sense and will be good, if not for the social cohesion of the countries concerned, at least for the commercial companies which are operating there. Which brings us back to Uber, in which BlackRock is heavily invested. Why do viewers suppose that all the Uber drivers are either immigrants or the offspring of immigrants? Remember when cab drivers were nearly all white British? Ever wondered why these days hardly any of them are? I don't think that one needs to be a member of the Tin Hat Brigade to start joining up a few dots here. When a supposedly socialist government sits down at the table with a man like the head of BlackRock and they agree to change the face of the United Kingdom, it does rather set a few alarm bells ringing.